You ready, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay. As I come in, I've already checked my steps. I've already checked my handrail. I want to check and make sure I got a fully charged fire extinguisher, right? I got a body fluids kit and I got a first aid kit. Now we keep our extra fuses. You got to call it to get this one item. You got to have fire extinguisher and fuses and triangles are all three together on one. You know, to get 1 point, you got to, you know. So there's 68 items it says, but some of them grouped into 3 or 4 items. So I got a fully charged fire extinguisher, I got a body fluids kit, I got a first aid kit, and I got extra fuses, and my triangles were back there instead of up here. Now, what I would do is turn my key on, and I would walk back. As I'm walking back through the bus, what I'm checking is the securement of the seats, the backs and the bottoms. Make sure they're all secure as I'm walking back. Now I want to open emergency exits. I actually do want to pop them and make sure that they do open. So every emergency exit I do want to open, I want to make sure the buzzer sounds right. I got to make sure that they do actually open. They do actually open. The buzzer sounds same way with all of them. They're clearly marked. To get emergency exit, to get credit for the emergency exit, you got to say they're clearly marked and the buzzer sounds and they open and close. Same way. And I would check the rest of them the same way, you know. They're all clearly marked. All the seats as I walk back. No way for a child to trip in this aisle. Nothing for them to trip. Now I come back to the seat. Now the first thing I do, I want to make sure that this seat belt's not frayed. It's mounted and secure and stuff. And everything's good, right? So I want to make sure the seat belt's not frayed. It does work. I want to adjust it for me. It's mounted and secure. It's not frayed. Now I'm going to do a start. I'm going to do a safe start. My bus is in neutral. My park brake is on. And as I start it, I watch the ABS light come on. It should flicker 2 or 3 times and go out. So it did. So I know that my brakes, ABS is working properly. If the light stayed on, I got regular brakes. But I do need to get it fixed, right? That's my safe start. Bus is in neutral, park brake is on. ABS light. Okay, I'll go over here to all these switches over here. Strobe light, indicator light tells me it's working. I can't see unless I go out there or have someone go look for me, but the indicator light tells me. Every time I call a light, indicator light tells me it's working, right? Whether I can see an indicator light or not. All my heaters, rear, front, mid, I've got my noise kill on, but all my heaters, I want to make sure that they're working, right? My driver's heater, my defrost, my step well, my rear, my midship, my heated mirrors I can't check unless it was cold weather. But I want to check all these heaters on high and low, right? My noise kill I know does work. My dome lights, indicator light tells me I can see in my mirror here that they're working, right? I've got an override here. I want to go ahead and close my door. I've got an override in case my big yellows and big red button doesn't work. So I can hit that override. At this time I can see that my stop sign and my crossing gate have come out and they are working properly. And my big reds are working for my override. The indicator light tells me that they're working. Remember indicator light. And I'll check my big reds and big yellows when I use my warning light button here. But the indicator light tells me they're working. I can see in my mirror. I can't see the back unless I have someone go back and look for me, right? So when I call them on the front, I've got to call back too to get credit for those lights. Okay, this is a crossing gate cancel. I only use it on school property. My headlights, I turn them on. I can see in my mirror that my headlights are working. I can see my clearance lights all the way around this bus. To get credit for headlights, I got to call clearance lights all the way front, back, and side. I can't see the back unless someone goes and looks for me, right? I do my high beam. My indicator lets me know that my high beam is working. I can see in my mirror that my lights flicker, right? There you go. I got my headlights. I got my running lights all the way around. My wipers, I want to check them on high and low. I want to make sure the washer works. To get credit for them, I got to do washer and make sure they work. I got a fan here, don't have to worry about it. It's not even on there. My horn works. 20-inch wheel, no more than 2 inches of play. They took that off there. They took battery box off. You don't have to worry about battery box no more. Okay. My turn signals, indicator light tells me that this left turn signal is working. I can see in my mirror out here that they're working. I can't see the back unless I go back there or have someone look for me, right? Same way with my right. Indicator light tells me it's working. To get credit, I've got to call indicator light, front and back, that light is working, right? Okay. I got my turn signals, front and back. Indicators tell me they're working. My four ways. Indicator tells me that my four ways are working. I can see in my mirror out here that my four ways are working, right? I can't see the back. Let's go back there and look. But the indicator light tells me they're working. Okay, now my brake light, I can't see unless I have someone go look for me, right? When I did my headlights, I should have opened my door to make sure that my step light works. And the one on the outside, which I can't see unless I get out there and look. Okay, my brake lights, I don't have an indicator, but someone needs to check in the back for me. Same way with my backup lights. I can hear my backup horn, but I would have someone check those backup lights for me. And that's pretty much got the headlights, and brake lights, tail lights, turn signals. I want to mash this button. That gets my big yellows working. The indicator light tells me my big yellows are working. I can see in my mirror that they're working on the front. Can't see the back. Let's go back there or have someone look for me. And then you ask the examiner, do you want to go check these lights for me? Okay, I open my door. I'm going to open my door halfway. That leaves my door shut. So when I'm doing a student drop-off, that gives me another chance to look before I actually open the door. You know, that way if I got a kid that I can't, you know, just run out on me, you know, that gives me a last chance to look. But the indicator light tells me that my big reds are working. I can see my stop arms come out, it's functioning. See my big reds on the front, see my light on the side, my stop arm, it is actually working. Okay. And then I open my door all the way. You know, I'm drop off. That gives me one more chance to look before I drop that child off. That's what I just opened it halfway. So I canceled them, the stop arm came in. Now let me think now. Got my horn, I got my don't have to worry about that. Now I come to my gauges. My oil pressure should be coming up to normal operating range, right? My water temperature should come up to normal operating range. I've got enough fuel for the trip I'm taking. My volts are coming up to normal operating range. My air pressure should kick out at 120 to 125. So I got all my gauges. Now it's time for me to do a lab check. I cut my key off. I push my button in. I turn my key on. You guys are good on this, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. So my park brake's pushed in. My key is on. With no brakes applied, I shouldn't leak no more than 2 psi. With my foot on the brake for a minute, got to remember to say 1 minute, shouldn't leak no more than 3 pounds. I start pumping somewhere between 60 and 65. My buzzer should come on. I should have an audible buzzer and a light, which I do have an audible buzzer and a light came on, letting me know that I'm losing air pressure, that I should get off the road. Okay, I keep pumping somewhere between 40 and 10. This button should pop out right here. If I keep pumping somewhere between 40 and 10, which it did. Now, I'm going to go ahead and build my air pressure back up. I should build my air pressure back up to 120. And then after my air pressure builds back up, I'm just going to tell you this. I'm not actually going to do it. After my air pressure builds back up, I'm going to put my bus in drive, let it roll forward about 5 miles an hour, and hit my service brake, my foot brake here. Shouldn't pull to one side or another. And if it does, something's wrong with my brakes, okay? Then I'm going to put it in the lowest gear with the bus running, park brake on. I'm going to put it in the lowest gear, and I'm going to tug on the brakes and try to pull out. I'm going to let it rev up to probably about 1,000 RPM, and see if it'll move. If it moves, my brakes are out of adjustment, right? If it doesn't move, my brakes are in adjustment.
And that is at 1,000?
Yeah, about 1,000. Yeah, say 1,000. It used to be 1,500. If they just put it in the lowest gear and try to tug, tug the brakes. Yeah. Trying to think if I forgot anything. That should be pretty much it. All my mirrors. I want to check all my mirrors to make sure my mirrors are in adjustment for me, right? Crossover, side mirrors, lane changing mirrors. This is called a student mirror. I want to make sure that I can see at least the top of the kid behind me, his head, and the top of the back door, and all down through the bus. I almost forgot mirrors. That's